What's going on? What's going on YouTube? Daniel back here for another video. So this topic will be about something that really pushed my journey and being able to heal my gut, and essentially was basically what made things binary for me. So essentially, if you don't know, my name is Daniel, and I help people with their nutrition over the things I've learned over the past 8 years to live drug free, heal my psoriasis, and I help them basically reverse any conditions they have that makes them dependent on medication or the healthcare system, and live, using food as medicine to reach their peak vitality and energy. So for this video, essentially it's about the alternative to you not healing your gut. So right now, if you're watching this, you're in a place where you're getting probably a lot of inflammation, a lot of different effects from not having your gut sealed more or less. Right now, probably like leaky gut, so you have inflammation. You maybe have skin rashes, a whole bunch of different autoimmune diseases that might be coming up that are mild right now, but they will get worse. And essentially, you're just getting started, so you're basically in a good place. You're able to reverse it. But if you don't reverse it, I'm gonna let you know essentially what the alternative is, and that is thousands of dollars a month on medication. So luckily enough, you've been able to stumble upon this video and know more or less why you have certain conditions, or maybe you don't, and it's because of leaky gut. But essentially, if you don't get this fixed and reverse and make this a priority in terms of reversing the symptoms, which would be from healing your gut, then, like I said, your other option is medication, and that will be starting in the hundreds, and if you are very severe, go into the thousands. So when I was healing my gut when I was about like 21, 22, I was working at a pasta shop, and essentially the owner of the shop, there was like two brothers, and one of the owners, at that time I was still like very in the beginning phases, so I didn't really know too much what I was doing. I had no confidence really in what I was doing. Like I was just testing, split testing, trial and error and stuff like that. So I was bringing a bunch of different recipes into the office, and then I got a lot of compliments from the ladies there. So it was a majority of ladies working there, and it was mostly like it's a pasta shop, so you're making all the pasta, and then I was in charge of delivering the pasta. So I was like very young at the time, and that was like one of my first few jobs after I got my G license, which I got pretty late. But essentially, yeah. So I was in charge of driving, and then I would, on lunch, I would bring all these different recipes, and then one lady, I remember she always complimented my recipes, and then he came by, and then he had like pretty clear skin, and then he mentioned that he was on he had psoriasis, and then he basically said like, "Oh yeah, I just pay for injections." And he basically bragged about it. And he said, "Yeah, I just pay like 1,000, like $1,500 every month, or like $1,800 at that point." And this was like 6 years ago, so this was like with inflation now, it's already like 2,000, 2,500. He was like just bragging, and like he said, "Oh yeah, I just get it like handled by this thing." And when I heard that, it just kind of just made me like really motivated. For me, it was like there was no pride in taking medication. I was like, I kind of looked down upon him. I'm like, "You're just," he's like, "Oh, I can't quit the milk and the dairy." And it's like, I'm Italian, so it's like like he's just basically putting power over food, as if food is a slave, or like he's food's bitch. And essentially, it just made him, for me in my eyes, look like pretty weak, because at that point I was able to like dominate my urges in order to like not live like that, because I was like basically my worst fear of just depending on medications. And then this is the thing with medications is it ruins your immune system. So essentially, you're fixing one thing, maybe you're fixing a symptom of, let's say for instance, I was talking to my cousin that he has arthritis, like a very severe arthritis. I don't remember the name of it, but essentially it's one of the most severe ones, where you basically have fusions with your vertebrae. So if you basically don't treat it, you can fuse like there's certain bones together. It's pretty fucked up. But anyways, so he so basically what I'm saying, like if you take drugs, and it relieves one symptom, it also will affect something else. So usually it's your immune system. It like suppresses your immune system, and then you start to get different trouble in terms of like getting sick more often. And this is something I would rather not sacrifice my immune system for. And like I said, also like it comes out of, unless you're insured. So I'm living in Canada, so a lot of, we get a lot of drug insurance and health insurance. But if you're living in the States or different areas, you don't have this luxury. If you're watching this in the US especially, so you're paying out of pocket most of the time unless you're insured. But I mean, so this is something you should be scared of. It's not something you should be like, oh, if nothing works out, I could just take drugs. No, it's thousands of fucking dollars that you're gonna be paying every year. So this is not like an option you have of like, oh, it's just like whatever. I'll just not take this seriously and just let things go crazy. And then I have the drugs lean on. Like I said, no, this shouldn't be something that should like give you a plan B. It's like plan A, fix myself with food. Plan B, rather die. Like this is that was my mentality, and the mentality you should have yourself. Unless you want to just depend on drugs, and maybe you're in a position financially where you can do that, then cool. But you're also sacrificing different parts of your health. And then the thing with drugs as well, and medicine is your body becomes immune and tolerant over time. So you have to put more and more, and you're just basically drugging yourself, and you're basically a fucking junkie because you don't want to fix your food and nutrition. So this is basically the alternative. So this is something you have to begin to put in your mind. I'm giving you examples from my life, but you can go out and talk to people if you want to just wait it out and see what your options are. I'm telling you your options right now, or you can begin to really apply yourself and make nutrition a priority, and also be a habit as well in terms of what you're eating. So um, it's really not too hard. It's like I was putting it in my Instagram story. If you could follow me there at Mr. Dan Arce, same as my YouTube. But essentially, there's like an immersion phase. And the immersion phase is the hardest phase. Where you're just really immersed in it. You're not going out to eat at all. You're just at home, basically, really taking care of yourself and your food, and tracking your biomarkers, and just basically not that you're not having fun, but you're just basically really submerged in trying to get the right system in place and right basically variations and combinations of what you can and cannot eat. And once you have that, then you have everything basically evened out. Then you're basically in the maintenance phase. So it's one or the other. It's not like you're always in immersion. You can't have a life. Like right now, I'm basically in a semi-immersion phase, and once it's over and I have my biomarkers set, then I can just go back to maintenance and just basically eat how I was more or less eating before, minus the gluten and dairy, which I don't even like anymore anyways, because obviously once you begin to eat one way for a certain amount of years, you kind of lose the like taste and this like addiction to certain other foods. But anyways, this is something, like I said, you have to begin to take into account. It's either you fix it with dedication, mindset, and food, or your pocket and your immune system and other areas of your body being compromised because of these medications. So it's up to you. I'm just giving you the option before you face it in real life and start to see it either firsthand or through secondhand experience. But anyways, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Also, comment below the most amount of money you've seen someone pay. Like I said, mine was like $1,800. Maybe yours could be more. And right now, obviously, with the economy and how much people are able to recover from COVID, different drug medications, I'll be surprised if it goes into like $3,000, $5,000 for medication. So, anyways, thank you for supporting the channel, and hope you enjoyed the video, got some value from it. If you want to connect on Instagram, I'll put it in the description. And yeah, other than that, keep killing it, and see you guys in the next video.